Hello and welcome to the Zakariya Adeel podcast, Astro-Tarot Predictions for week beginning 1st of November 2021. Thank you for joining me. Let's go straight into it. We're going to start off with Aries. Okay. So Aries, you've been quite creative in the recent past and well, look at the card that's come up. It's the patron of creativity. It's the Empress. So this can mean creativity. It can also mean where am I putting the card? There you go. Can you see that? So I'm using the Witch's Tarot this week. So she can also be the pregnant mother. It can be the nurturer. When this card comes up, 9 months tends to be important. So although it's a 3 card, 3 is important, 9 is important. Obviously, she's gestating for baby to come. It takes 9 months. So what it's saying is that the creative project or the project that you've started may take 9 months for it to sort of reach a conclusion. Can also mean baby. Sometimes it means you're studying something as well. Well, coupled with this card, it does. The Page of Pentacles. It means that maybe something that you're working on might take you 9 months to sort of study it and get to the end of it, or might not be like a formal course of study, but something that you're learning may take you almost a year to get to the end of. There might be a minor argument with somebody, or somebody tries to make you feel bad. Don't worry too much about that, because the outcome of that will be in your favor, and actually it will allow you to start working on like putting the feelers out for something new as well. So yeah, there's something that could be a difficult relation with somebody could actually turn into a real benefit. So just be your wonderful Aries self and get through it. All right, let's move on to Taurus. Okay, this is very positive. Not going to take very long just to sort of explain. So you've been feeling, recent past you felt restricted, okay? 8 of Swords, card of restriction. But actually there's more freedom than you realise. But you see how she's sort of locked up there. But she believes she's more restricted than what she actually is, right? So as a result of that restriction, you're not feeling very happy. You're quite upset, focused on what's gone wrong rather than what could be. Once you sort of get that out of your system and you start focusing in a positive way, things shift drastically, because look at the outcome. We've got the Fool card, which is take a risk a payoff, a whole new adventure lies before you. So actually you're closing the door on the old and you're welcoming the new in a very positive way, and as soon as that perspective shifts, big changes, okay? So you'll notice the shift in energy as well in your system. So let that take place. All right, moving on to Gemini. Okay, very good positive reading for Geminis as well. So in recent times, your perspective has shifted towards your own needs, your own health needs in particular. So you're looking after your body, your nutrition, your exercise, all those things that you need to make yourself strong and put yourself in a good stead. We've got the Knight of Pentacles, and that's what he does. He's very his purpose is to sort of look at himself and make sure he's healthy, he's strong, he's able to handle situations. Then we've got the card of synchronicity and speed. So things change in a fast way. Also, this can mean communications, messages, but positive communications, things that uplift you and give you inspiration, and also a reason to move on to the next sort of step, next rung of the ladder almost. But as you're doing that, oftentimes it's business oriented, and here we are, we're setting forth our business plans, we're putting them out there, and they will come back to us in due course with a positive result. Okay, so Gemini, that's really good reading. Okay, self-love gets us to all sorts of positive places, and I think this is a big step for you in the self-love arena. Cancer, let's move on to Cancer. Okay, we're there already. Cancer. Okay. Okay, I think, right, what this reading is telling me is that we've got the card of the Hierophant. Now this card is often symbolic of a variety of things, actually, like secret knowledge, initiation. Is also, because it's to do with churches and institutions and traditional organizations, that also goes for institutions such as marriage, right? So what I'm seeing is that what I'm seeing is that you have these ideas that are quite fixed in your mind as to how you want your life to be. And I don't think it's been particularly helpful for you. So as they fragment and they sort of disappear, what it does is it opens up the floor for something else, something that's more suited to what you actually want and what you actually need, right? So what happens for you is you might get a bit sad this week because you feel like a dream is dying. But as that happens, um, you realize once you get through that to the other side, things will be different, right? But at the moment, you're kind of in the throes of that. Um, but what everything that's happening right now is bringing you to this place of internal strength. So you stay true to who you are and who you really are, rather than subscribing to things that you should want, or it's the expectation that you should have, right? Maybe your life is just different. And as you become more and more okay with that, the as you see the beauty in the way that your life actually is, as opposed to the way that you were expecting it to be, more and more beautiful things come to you. This is the law of attraction at work. So I think it's a positive in that regard. But you may have some bit of struggles this week in terms of your life matching up to your ideals. That could be the difficulty for you this week. All right, but you do come through that admirably, and that strength card shows that. So, all right, let's move on to Leo. Okay, so in the very, very recent past, what's happened is you have said, okay, so we've got these two cards that come together. Lots of cards come out for you today. So we've got these two cards coming together as your recent past. So as you leave something, you open the door. You open the door to this new plan of so this is like a happy family card, right? So as it's like, okay, so now I don't know whether this is entirely accurate because it may be symbolically true for you, for some Leos, as opposed to directly true. So what I'm seeing, right, is you're leaving a relationship, and as you do that, it's like you left the relationship with the person that you wanted a family with this person, but this person wasn't capable of family. So now you finally decide, okay, I'm out of here. When you do that, look, you open the door to the family that you actually really wanted. So that's now leaving you open to attract somebody into your experience that can have that family with you, right? And then as you're doing that, you're just working on yourself. This is a kind of study, self-study, improvements, financial improvements, all that sort of stuff. So as you do that, things begin to improve in your life. A small improvement, not a huge one, but it's still an improvement. And then very soon, in the near future, look, new love, it enters. My cup runneth over with positive emotions. So lots and lots of positive things, new emotional starts in that. And also we've got a king, a military king, someone strong, someone you can depend on, but also somebody that emotionally is not so good. That's okay. As a Leo, you've got enough emotion for the two of you, and also my genders are if you're male, this goes for female, but yes, just sort of transpose it so however's right for you, and obviously if you're a same-sex couple, the same thing. All right, so I hope that made sense. I hope that wasn't too confusing. It's a positive reading. Basically, what it means is that. This thing that wasn't in your benefit, you've finally said goodbye to, and as a result of that, new positive things are on the way, including potential new relationship. And if we're not talking relationship in this context, in your context, it can be just something else. All right. Let's move on to Virgo. Okay, so what I see for you this week is that you may have to take a job or do this work for the sake of money. Sometimes you just have to sacrifice your not even your integrity. It's not that. I don't think you have to sacrifice your integrity. I don't think you ever have to do that. But sometimes you just have to say, you know what, I was not sure, I might not have taken this job, but I kind of need to do it for financial reasons, so I'll just do it. And I think that's what may happen to you this week and possibly beginning of next week. But sometimes you have to do things that we don't particularly want to do. But it's not. This isn't a sacrifice of your integrity or a sacrifice of your higher moral code. It's just something. I would have rather not done this, but if I have to do it, I have to do it. So as you do that, the positive here is the Justice card is here. So lots of the positive things that you've done in your past will come. The energy of those will overflow and will snowball in your favor eventually. But what will happen is that you hopefully will have the opportunity to create a project of your own, creative project, or a written project or something, whatever it is that you're interested in. Hopefully, as a consequence of the people that you meet, by taking, sometimes you have to do things you don't entirely love, but you could meet people in that position, and because of those connections that you've made, and the positive impression that you've made, you may be able to be given the responsibility to do things your way. So that's very good. All right, Virgo. Let's move on to Libra. Okay. All right, so Libra, this is a quick one as well, quite an easy one. Recently, things may have gone really well, so these positive things may have happened, and you're like determined, like, no matter what happens, I want to make this work. I want to make it work. The thing is, sometimes things don't pan out the way that we want, and if the universe is pushing you in this direction, and you really want to go in that direction, and you're making it happen, but the universe is, you can't really fight that flow, and I don't think you have been. I think that this job or this opportunity that's come your way on paper looked like a great thing. It's just that sometimes our greatest gifts turn out to be our greatest curses. And I'm not saying this is going to be a great curse. It's not a great curse. It's just something small like that. And so it's like everything went great. Everything was going great. Everything was going great. And then you will sort of hit a little bit of a wall. And that wall is just saying, this was not a proper start in the first place. This was like a start, stop. And so don't take it personally. This isn't about you. This is about the energy pushing you here and you wanting to go there. So ultimately, the universe will win. All right? So when that happens, do not take it personally. Just allow yourself to change course now, because you might as well go with where the energy is pushing you. And when that happens, again, we've got this card of the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands means a sparky beginning, like an energetic fireball of like new creative start, right? But it's the early stages. Let yourself go there and build it up from the ground. Do something new, do something different, and don't be too focused on what you may lose in this transaction. Okay, because it was never really yours. You didn't really get a strong foothold on it in the first place. All right, let's move on to Scorpio. So we're in Scorpio territory. The card that jumped out for you was the Hierophant. Traditions, institutions, churches, schools, the religious institutions, just general traditional institutions, let's say, but also the non-traditional ones like the secret societies, anything that holds like important secret knowledge or specific niche knowledge that is not openly available to everybody. These places and these centers may sort of draw you into, because they say to you, we've got the answer, and you may want to sort of be led into them because you might be feeling restless, and you might be searching for answers, right? And these places claim to have them, so you're like, okay, well, give them to me because I'm not happy. I'm not sort of secure in myself, because we've got this card here with the heavy heart. I mean, I'm thinking about some of the Scorpios that I know at this time, and they may have lost like loved ones or being in pain from a breakup or something like that. And when that happens, they want to understand. The Scorpio wants to understand. They read, they study, they try and learn more. They go down a certain road to try and understand more and more and more. Imagine all of these pentacles on the side here being books that they've read about a certain topic. But it doesn't give them the answer that they're searching for. What you need to know, right, is that you may have gone down the wrong road. And so you can read as many books as you want. But if you're going down the wrong road, those books are just going to add knowledge to you about a topic that isn't the right subject that's going to give you the answers that you're seeking. So I would seek out a different road rather than a different book. Okay. And the other big piece of advice for you this week is don't lose yourself in busyness and not deal with the actual issues that you've relegated to the background there. All right. Okay, let's move on to Sagittarius. Okay, Sagittarius, you've been doing something right. I've got to say, you've got a very positive reading this week. You've got the card of mastery, rebuilding your life and turning it into something quite magical, putting a lot of time and energy into it, really perfecting your craft and getting really good at it. As a result, you're now put on a pedestal, and the Sun card, which is one of the best cards in the pack, you're just shining like the sun, and everybody's recognizing what you're capable of and what you bring to the team. And ultimately, you could get promotion or a financial incentive or something really positive on the work front is likely here. Or potentially a new job. Also, the Ace of Pentacles is famously known for a new job. So all that sort of stuff. But yeah, really positive stuff. There may be some socializing as well just before your birthday season starts as well. So yes, enjoy. Let's move on to Capricorn. Okay. Capricorn, I feel like you're getting better and better and better at your own self-analysis. Okay, you understand yourself better and better. Not that Capricorns don't understand themselves, they do. Some of the most self-aware people I know are Capricorns. So what has happened recently though, you may have put your head into the clouds a little bit. So basically, if, for example, if life isn't going the way that the Capricorn wants, they're like, they can sometimes just be like, well, I don't care, I'm not dealing with life then. They may have a good perception, a good sort of understanding of how the world works, reality works. But if they don't like the reality, they'll, well, forget this. I'm just gonna withdraw and just live in my, not in their own really imagination, but they sort of regress to like a childlike place. And then they're like, I'm just going to sit here and play and do whatever brings me joy, and ignore the reality for a bit. And that may be what you've been doing, but something's going to pull you out of that. And it's your choice, right? Whether you get pulled out by inspiration or whether you get pulled out by necessity. All right. So if you don't come out of your own volition, then it will be necessity. And when that happens, you're going to feel like, oh dear, I missed a trick. So I would say, find something that is worth living for, and give it a lot of your attention and sort of grasp onto it, and let it pull you out of this phase, this sort of mini phase that you've been going through. And in doing that, you'll realize what it is that you're good at again. You'll remember who you are and what makes you so powerful. There may be a period of relearning life again, but that's just by the by. That's just necessary. This whole lockdown and everything may have just gotten you so used to a way of life. And this doesn't also mean that literally. Think about it symbolically as well. So you just got used to a way of life that wasn't your way of life. And you've just allowed that to be. Maybe it's time for you to consciously, actively return to a way of life that suits you better. Okay? That's for Capricorn. Let's move to Aquarius. This is very interesting. This is the Justice card. It's the first card to come up for Aquarius. So, powerful woman, major arcana. Then we've got the High Priestess, powerful card, female energy, major arcana. And then we've got the Temperance card. So this is actually a hermaphrodite, so feminine and masculine energy. But it's a powerful angel, major arcana. So now this is a very powerful reading. What it means is that your good deeds finally catch up with you. This is the Justice card. Your intuition is powerful at this time, right? So we've got the High Priestess. There is all kinds of messages coming for you. If you're still enough to be able to hear them. Also, don't be in such a rush to get to the destination. Sometimes there's value in looking at the details and pondering over them until you feel satisfied that you've explored this to the full extent. And at that point, then, the card of the Temperance is also one of the cards of alchemy. So then you can turn lead into gold, and create magic. So take a bit more time before making completing projects or like completing whatever it is you're doing. All right. Now let's go to Pisces. I seem to be spending a lot more time with Pisces people, and I have to say I'm really enjoying it. Pisces have found me, it seems. I don't think I've ever had this many Pisces around me before, if I'm honest. It's a good thing. Okay. Okay. So, so I've got this card of the, in this pack they call it the shadow side, but in the regular pack it's the card of the devil. And what this card means, being chained to your desires. The inner child, the id, whatever you want to call it, wants what it wants. And there's no talking it out of that. But sometimes that can cause shame, that can cause embarrassment and those things. And so you create like a... You sort of run, sometimes people run from that because they want to believe themselves to be civilized and have sophisticated desires. But at the end of the day, you know, we're not all these perfect beings. We can't be. We have to have light and dark as part of our personalities. So I think you have to make space for that aspect of yourself as well when you're creating your ideal future or whatever it is you're working towards, heading towards. So don't be too love and light, I think is what I'm saying. Allow space for bits of darkness as well. Nobody is expected to be just pure love and light. It's unrealistic. We're human beings. We have lots of shades. Let's put it that way. Shadow side. Okay, so here's the thing. So the outcome, we've got two cards, right? We've got the Empress and we've got the King of Wands. So female and masculine energy here, right? So I think what this would say to me is balancing your creative side with your masculine. I mean, it's a fire sign here, so active and also business minded. So creative and business, right? Merge the two together and work with those two aspects to create something productive and profitable as well. Yeah, but don't take on too much. Get other people on board also who can help, because you don't have to do everything by yourself. Just because you're very good at it and you can do these things doesn't mean you have the capacity to be able to do everything. So do get help when you need to, but you're going to have to select. You're going to have to select carefully who those people are to help you, but do be ambitious though. I think you can achieve a lot at this time. We've got the Ace of Swords as well, so do be ambitious. Don't think small. Get it done though. All right. Okay. I don't think there were any questions from last week, so if you do have any questions, do leave it at the bottom, at the comments of the YouTube page, and I will have a look next week, and we'll answer them the following week. All right. Okay. Thank you very much. Have a good week, and leave me a comment down below. Like and subscribe, and click on the notification bell, and you'll see me every week with the next week's predictions. All right. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye bye. Toodaloo.